Hi, are you ready for a band workout? Today you're going to need a band or two. These mini bands are great. You could also use a TheraBand and just tie it. Preferably two or maybe three different strengths. We're going to start with maybe your medium to heavier strength band, and you're going to just put that above your knees. I like to put the band on and then kind of just shimmy it up, making sure that it stays flat. We're going to set the timer for 45 seconds. We're going to work for 45 seconds and then take a little rest for 15 seconds. The first exercise we're going to start with is a step out squat. So you're going to step out to the side, making sure that your knees are in line with your second toe, and you're going to squat. We're going to step together, keep moving to one side, and then step out and squat again and back together. And then we'll do two steps to the other side. Are you ready? Let's go. Bend your knees and send those hips back. Keep that core engaged. We don't want to lose that neutral spine. Widen the collarbones. You can take this at any pace you'd like. So I sped it up a little bit here. But you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Just know that you just have that 45 seconds. If you need to take a little rest, go ahead and do that. Keeping tension on that band. We're almost there. And rest. So now we're going to just take it to regular squats. You're not going to do the side to side. So you're going to find your feet are going to be a little wider than hip width. And before you even start, you're going to push against that band. Send the hips back on your heels and drive up, leading with the chest. If your band is too loose here, you might not feel as stable. So try to pick a band that's going to have a good amount of tension to it, and it should really help you get those hips back. You're pressing against the band so you can engage those glutes, keeping that core engaged, and pushing those heels through the floor. So we kind of want to get into the back body, drawing up through the center of the body. If you're watching me in this video, don't slurp up air at the end. That is just me on repeat here on this one squat. We're going to end here in 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Take a rest. Enjoy this rest and this video of what not to do, as I explain that you can either go back to the first exercise and repeat and do that 2 or 3 times, or you can continue moving on with the rest of the workout. Going to the lat pull. You're going to bring your wrists through the band, and all we're going to do is pull out. So we're going to lift those arms up over your head, and alternating, you're going to bring down, you're going to pull out and bring that elbow down towards the floor. And let's go. It's really important that you are initiating from the lat muscles. So those muscles, think about running along the sides of the ribs and into the back, following kind of that bra strap area. So really just think about initiating there before you pull apart those wrists, and then you're going to initiate from the back as you drive the elbow down. Make sure you're breathing. I would exhale as you pull down, inhale as you come up, and you're almost there. 2, 1. Take a little rest. Now that we've worked our back, let's work into the chest. You're going to hold the band in the palm of your hand, place the hand across the chest, and then slip the other hand into the band. Keeping that elbow below the shoulder, you're going to push out. Just doing a little chest press here. And let's go. Keeping your hand pressed up against your shoulder helps you to maintain that square between your shoulders and your hips. So there's no rotation happening at the shoulders. I'm also demonstrating this on the floor. So if you are feeling like you're moving too much through the shoulders, you could go down to the floor, and then you can get that sensory feedback against the floor. Really pushing with the chest. So that's the idea here, is to engage those chest muscles. You can exhale as you push out, inhale as you come in. Getting closer to the end here on this side. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We're going to move on to the other side here. So you're going to want to take your hand across to the other shoulder and get ready to push with the other side. And other side. Again, pushing with that chest. I would tell myself here, if I was watching myself, to relax through the tops of the shoulders, neck, and jaw. I can see that the muscle, the SEM muscle in my neck is really tensed up there. So I'm probably just putting a little bit too much tension up through my shoulders and neck. I am very intimidated in making these videos at this point. So I feel like I'm not always paying attention to what I'm doing when I'm making these, but I'm trying to help you through as best as I can for your workout. So make sure you're doing what I'm not and relax. You're going to take the band and put it in the crook right between that thumb and your pointer finger. And we're going to pretend we're going to shoot some archery here. And we're going to go for our 45 seconds here. Again, relax the neck and the shoulders. And then think about that shoulder blade coming around the rib cage. And then as it comes back, as you let that band come forward, you're still engaged in those back muscles. So we're really letting it just slide around the rib cage, keeping, as you're coming around, don't think about squeezing it too hard. You want to also keep an openness to the back, so widen between the shoulder blades and contract. We'll be going to the other side here in 10 seconds. So just prepare yourself for that. You may want to get set up. And let's go to the other side. Same thing here as we did on the other side. I should probably mention that you don't have to have a band around your ankles. I'm just showing you the different views here. But I'm not really sure why I still have that band around my ankle, but you do not need to do that. Make sure that you are just primarily moving at the shoulder joint. The elbow joint is going to move a bit too, but as you can see, I'm not extending that wrist back. So it's really just about moving into the back here. Here's some other bad examples. We'll explain that you can go back now to the lat pulls, the chest push, and the bow and arrows before moving on. You can repeat those 2 or 3 times. We're going to move that band back up over the knees. So we're just kind of looping it back up. And we're going to go to a split squat. You're going to step 1 foot back. Make sure that those hips are level. You're going to pop that back heel. You want to make sure as you come down and up here that you continue to have tension on the band. So we're going to come down and up. We'll do one side for 45 seconds and then we'll go to the next. Let's go. You want to make sure that you have a little bit wider stance here. So my feet were still about hip width apart and keeping the hip level. Here I'm showing you a side view so you can take it to more of, that's a glute, more of a glute split squat. If I or you stay more upright, you're going to feel more quads. So that little hinge back gives you more glutes. And your heel is popped in the back. Try not to slide forward in the knee. and rest. As you rest, you could grab a drink or just get prepared for the other side. Ready for the next side? Let's go. If you have a mirror to look at your hips in, or if you put your hands on your hips, you should feel that the hips are even or level. When I say level, that's what I mean. If you saw that line across the waist there, my sweatshirt is kind of covering that up, but we want to try to keep the shoulders and hips square throughout the movement. Engage through the center. Again, tension on the band. Keep it going. You're almost there. Coming onto your side, we have a couple options for you. You can either come all the way down, making sure that you're pulling up through the side body, keeping your hips forward and keeping your feet stacked. When you come to open up to the clam, you're going to make sure that you're using these muscles in the back. So if you take your thumb and put it in the front of your hip and then fold those hands over, we should feel this muscle working as we open up. Your other option is to come up onto the forearm, or onto the elbow, and then pull up through the side body again, keeping this lifted here, keeping your head and neck in line with the rest of your spine. As you open up into the clam, you're going to also lift the hip off of the floor. Are you ready? Let's go. Engage the serratus anterior, the muscle underneath the arm. Getting that glute med up in the top and bottom. And straight line from head to tail. Keeping the side bodies nice and long, space between the rib and the hips. Watch the hips not coming back. Instead, we want to pull them forward or keep the flashlights forward, keeping the feet together. And again, watching that rotation as you're coming up, that you're not losing that stability in the hip. Good job. Let's move to the next side. Same position as before. If you were all the way down on the other side, do it that way again and come up into that clam bridge. Let's go. To keep from going into that shoulder, you could think of a Kleenex coming out of a box and just pulling up, pushing down with the forearm and pushing away from the floor, pulling up from that side body. Again, that lower glute is going to be engaged as well, because we are using the lower glute to come into the bridge, and then you're coming into that clam, getting that external rotation to engage the glute on the upper side. Feeling the burn here, and you're almost there. Good job. Just pausing here for a moment. You could superset the split squat and those clams for 2 or 3 more sets, or do them individually for 2 or 3 more sets, or you could continue moving on with the rest of the workout. For the last exercise, you're going to have the band around your wrist and a band around your feet. Rolling back and taking your spine to a neutral, so not a pelvic imprint where you're all the way down, and not a totally neutral spine, kind of in between that. You're going to come to a tabletop position, and you're going to extend the arms where your wrists are right in line with your shoulders. I'm going to break it down with the arms first. You're just going to take the arm out side to side. And then the legs are going to extend one at a time. As the leg extends, that same arm comes out to the side and then back into the center and out to the side and into the center. We're going to do this for 45 seconds. Let's go. If you find that this gets into your low back, you can bring your knees in a little bit, and it takes your spine a little bit out of neutral, so it's an in between neutral and pelvic imprint. We don't want a huge arch in your back, and you don't want your back completely on the floor. And that is an example of what not to do. There's so many variations of this. You could just do your legs, you could just do the arms, you could do it without the bands, you could do it with just one band on your wrist or at the feet. We definitely want to feel this in the center of the body. Good job. And that's all I got for you today.